Hi dear students, good morning to you all and welcome back to our Zoology class. Hope you may have learned something from the last class. So before we move into this next session, just we can review this previous portion. Fine. Hope you may remember about our last class. So in the last class we had discussed regarding this biodiversity, diversity of this living world, classification, history of classification, and few terms taxa and taxonomy, right? So in the diversity of the living world, we discussed about these various forms of organisms and species. So throughout this world, 8.7 millions of species have been identified yet, right? And under classification, we said, so classification means the things are categorized as per the character is called classification, right? And we said what is the need of this classification and so on. Then the history of classification. So various evolutionists, they have classified the organism based on the several levels, right? That is comes under this history of classification. And we introduced the terms called it is taxonomy. So taxon means that the word category is substituted as this scientific term called it is taxa, right? So example, we can say kingdom is one taxa, phylum is one taxa, and class is one taxa, and so on, right? And taxonomy means the system of classification is called taxonomy. Is it clear? Shall we move to the next class? Okay, fine. So today we are going to discuss about the next topic, that is 3 domains of life, 5 kingdom classification, system of classification, and taxonomic hierarchy. So these are the subjects we have to cover up today. Is it clear? So among these, the first one is these 3 domains of life. So let us see what you mean 3 domains of life, right? Okay. So 3 domains of life in the sense, so throughout the year, even from polar ice caps to this volcanic events, everywhere the living organisms are found, right? So these entire organisms, as we said already, so 8.7 millions of species has been identified already. So we must categorize in one particular order, right? So this various scientists or evolutionists is given their own ideas to classify these organisms, right? So among this, one of the type we can say it's a 3 domains of classification. So let us see how they are classifying the organisms under this category, right? And this system is given by the person Carl Woos in the year 1977. Okay, so now let us see how he is classifying the organisms. So as we said, so the entire organisms, every flora and fauna, he is classifying under 3 different categories, right? So that categories are archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. So the whole organisms comes under the 3 taxa, or we can say 3 categories, that is archaea, bacteria, and eukarya, right? So archaea means methanogens, halophiles, and thermoacidophiles comes under archaea. Then bacteria means cyanobacteria, eubacteria, and beneficial bacteria as well as pathogenic bacteria comes under bacteria, right? Then eukarya in the sense the rest of the things like protista, fungi, plants, and animals comes under eukarya. So now we are going to learn little elaborately regarding these 3 taxa, that is archaea, bacteria, as well as eukarya. Is it fine? Okay. So before we learn regarding this clear illustration regarding this archaea and bacteria, we must know one of the concepts regarding the difference between these prokaryotes as well as the eukaryotes. So hope you may have learned in the lower classes regarding this differences between the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes, right? So there is 2 types of cell is there, prokaryotic cell as well as the eukaryotic cell. So here I have highlighted very few points regarding this difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So if you learn this one, of course it may help you to pick up these forthcoming portions, right? Okay, let us see what is the difference, is few difference between these 2. So prokaryotes, there is no definite nucleus is there, right? But eukaryotes, true nucleus is there, well defined nucleus is there, but in prokaryotes it is absent. Definite nucleus is absent, fine. And the second difference we can say, in prokaryotes there is no membrane bound organelles are there, So the cell consists of organelles. So there is no membrane bound organelles, right? But in eukaryotes, it possesses membrane bound organelles. And the third difference we could say is prokaryotes consist of circular DNA. The shape of this DNA is circular in shape. But in eukaryotes, the DNA is arranged as a linear order, right? So there is this linear DNA. And the next difference we can say, the ribosomes, there is two types of ribosomes there, 70S type as well as 80S type ribosomes. Prokaryotes consist of ribosome, it is 70S type, and meanwhile eukaryotes consist of ribosome 80S type. And one more difference we can say, a chromosome do not have histone proteins. So actually histone protein is present in the chromosome, but in the prokaryotes it is absent. But in eukaryotes, chromosome consists of histone protein. So these are the few differences between these prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and it may be asked as a 2-mark question or 3-mark question. It is the content from your textbook, and just to remember these things, it may help for the forthcoming portions, right? So now we can go to the 3-domain classification. Among the 3-domain classification, as we said, the first one is this archaea. Shall we look into the archaea? Fine. Okay. So the 3-domain classification consists of 3 domains, that is archaea, bacteria and eukaryotes, right? Among these, the first one is archaea. So archaea, generally we can say it is one of the single cellular organism, and this, it's a prokaryotic bacteria comes under this archaea. So prokaryotes means, already we said the character. What are the character for prokaryotes, right? So the prokaryotic bacteria comes under this archaea group. Then we can say it could synthesize its own food with the help of this hydrogen sulfide without oxygen and sunlight. Is it fine? So these are the general character we can say. But one of the very important character regarding this archaea is otherwise known as it is extremophiles, right? So why should they have named this as extremophiles? In the sense, these bacteria could survive in extreme climatic conditions such as polar ice caps, volcanic vents. So in such a climatic condition also it could survive. That's why they have given the term it is extremophiles. So it is one of the bacteria, but it is a speciality of this bacteria is it could survive in extreme climatic conditions, right? Okay. So here 3 extremophiles they have given. So one of the thing is methanogens. Methanogens means these kind of the bacteria could produce methane. Especially this is living inside this lumen of these cattle such as and cows and buffaloes. Lumen region, it is present in the digestive system. So this bacteria is useful for the digestion of the food for these cattle, right? So during digestion it is producing this methane. So that's why these bacteria are known as methanogens. Okay, so one of the example we can say for this methanogens is methanobacterium, but this example is not given in your text. Okay, so methanogens, one simple example we could say it is methanobacterium. Okay, and the second one is halophiles. So halophiles is the bacteria, it could survive in a highly concentrated salt water. So that is known as it is halophiles. So one of this example we can give it is Salinobacter ruber is one of the example for halophiles. So halophiles is one of the bacteria, it could survive in a highly concentrated salt water. Fine. And the third one is thermoacidophiles. So even with the name you can understand these kind of this bacteria could survive in this high temperature as well as in the acidic environment. Where there is a temperature is high as well as in the acidic environment also it could survive. Right? So example we can say Thermoplasma acidophyllum. So this is the 3 extremophiles they are given under this archaea, right? Okay, and so now I display this figure of this each varieties. So the first one is Methanobacterium. This is example for methanogens. Fine. Salinobacter ruber, this is an example for halophiles. Thermoplasma acidophyllum, it's an example for thermoacidophiles. Is it fine? Okay. So that's all about this archaea. So 3 domain classification. The first one is archaea, second one bacteria, third one eukarya. So archaea over and the second one is bacteria. Clear? Shall we go to the next? So bacteria. So bacteria also it is a prokaryotic cell. So this also includes the bacteria, and here this bacteria is classified as 4. So the first one is cyanobacteria, second one eubacteria, third one probiotic, and the fourth one is pathogenic. Okay, archaea also bacteria only, but its speciality is there. It is a extremophiles. Bacteria also bacteria only. Have you got my point? Okay. Here, first one is cyanobacteria. So cyanobacteria means it is a blue-green algae. It's a blue-green algae, and this is useful for photosynthesis, right? And that's why it is enhancing this oxygen production. So it is increasing the atmospheric oxygen. So cyanobacteria, and it is one of the example we can say it is blue-green algae, right? And it is useful for photosynthesis. So since it is useful for photosynthesis, of course we can say it is enhancing the oxygen production, right? That is cyanobacteria. And eubacteria, we can say it is a usual bacteria, true bacteria. That is called, it is one of the example we can say. Of course it's a streptococcus bacteria, everything, right? It's a true bacteria. Then the third way they have classified this third one and the fourth one, they have classified as per this benefits of this human beings. How the bacteria is helpful for human being. As per that they have classified this two, it is as probiotic as well as pathogenic. Probiotic bacteria means it's a beneficial bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria means it's a harmful bacteria. Is it fine? So bacteria has several functions. So the major function of bacteria, one of this major function we can say it serves as a decomposers. So decomposers means, so the organic matters, the dead organic matters must be decomposed. If it is decomposed year by year, could you imagine everything may dump on the earth? So right, so this bacteria is doing the major role on the earth. It is used for everyone. We can say it is doing it is performing as a decomposer, right? It is one of the major role we can say, and as well as it is useful for many other activities for human beings, as well as it is pathogenic also for human beings. So under probiotic we can discuss regarding this useful bacteria. So one of this useful bacteria we can say it is lactobacillus. It's a bacteria which is found in this milk. This is useful to convert this milk into curd. So we can say it is one of these probiotic, lactobacillus. Fine. And the next one is a pathogenic bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria is a harmful bacteria which is causing these diseases for human beings. So one similar example we could say tuberculosis. It is caused by the bacteria called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Right? So under this 3-domain classification, the second one is bacteria. So bacteria is classified as 4: cyanobacteria, eubacteria, probiotic, as well as pathogenic. Is it clear? So now let me display this figure of this each varieties. Is it fine? The first one is cyanobacteria. Example, blue-green algae. Fine. Then eubacteria, it's a common bacteria. One example we could say it's a streptococcus bacteria, right? Then the probiotic, it's a useful bacteria. One example, lactobacillus. The fourth variety, pathogenic bacteria. So one of this example we can say tuberculosis bacteria. Fine. So 2 domains over. Shall we go to the third one? Okay. So third domain is eukarya. Okay. So the first one is archaea, second one bacteria, and the third one is eukarya. So archaea means extremophiles. Bacteria, all the bacteria comes under the bacteria, and the rest of the things, protista, fungi, plantae, animalia comes under eukarya. So protista means protozoans comes under protista, right? Then fungi comes under this fungi, and all the plants comes under the plantae, and all these animals comes under animalia. So these 4 comes under this domain called eukarya, right? So that's all about these three kingdom classification. Okay, so the first classification method is three kingdom classification given by Carl Woese in the year 1977. He has classified the organisms, whole organisms, as the three domains. First one is archaea, second one bacteria, and the third one is eukarya, right? And the second object is we have to see it is a five kingdom concept. Fine. So Carl Woese has classified the organism as three domains. Meanwhile, five kingdom concept classification, of course, it is one of the very familiar one. I hope that you may have learned in the lower classes. This is given by R.H. Whittaker, and five kingdom concept consists of, here Carl Woese has classified the whole organisms into three domains, as three domains. Meanwhile, R.H. Whittaker is classifying the whole organism as five kingdoms, right? You may know very well the five kingdoms are kingdom Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia, right? These are the five kingdoms. So there he has classified as three, but here Whittaker is classifying as five, right? And let us see what is the speciality of this five kingdom classification system. So this classification is clearly given in your textbook. So let us go through this. What are the points comes under this, right? Okay. So here the five kingdoms are mentioned at first. That is Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia, right? Okay. So now we can go to the few characters given under each one. That is cell type for each variety, and cell wall for each variety, and body organization for each varieties, as well as mode of nutrition also given, right? Okay. The first one we can say cell type. How the cell type will be there for each phylums. For example, Monera, it is a prokaryotic cell, right? And Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia, everywhere it consists of eukaryotic cell. So already we said the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Is it clear? Okay. And the cell wall. Monera is a non-cellular cell wall is there. Cellular is absent, right? And Protista, some consist of cell wall and some there is no cell wall is there. But Fungi, Plantae, and Fungi and Plantae, cell wall is present, and animal cell wall is absent, right? Okay. Then the next feature, it is body organization. Organization in the sense whether these organisms consist of only cell, or group of cell tissue, or group of tissue is called as organ, or group of organ is called organ system. At which grade it is present for each phylum, right? The first one, Monera, it's a cell, single cell, so of course the cellular organization will be there. And Protista also single cell, so the cellular organization will be there. And Fungi, multi-cell will be there, even in the tissue form also it will be there. Group of cells is called it is tissue. Then Plantae consists of tissue as well as organ, right? Then animals consist of tissue animals also there, only organ animals also there, organ system animals also there, right? Okay. Then the next feature is mode of nutrition. As per the mode of nutrition, how they have classified, right? So Monera, they said autotrophic as well as heterotrophic. I hope you may know this difference between these two. Autotrophic organisms means it will synthesize its own food, right? Heterotrophic means it will depend these other animals for its nutrition. It is called heterotrophic, right? So Monera, autotroph also there, heterotroph also there. Protista, autotrophic also there, heterotrophic also there. Fungi, it's a heterotrophic variety, and Plantae, of course, it is one of the autotrophic variety. It is synthesizing its own food, and Animalia is a heterotrophic variety. It has to depend other organisms for its nutrition. Is it clear? So the first classification is three domain classification system. Second one is five kingdom classification system. And what is the difference between these two? Do you know? There, for three kingdom classification system, archaea, bacteria, and eukarya, they said. So eukarya, they include the Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Rest bacteria, they have classified as two, that is archaea as well as bacteria. But here, this archaea and bacteria, they were putting as one kingdom, that is Monera. That's all. Have you got me? There they have classified the bacteria as two extremophiles, otherwise archaea and bacteria. But here both together as Monera. right? Rest is same. Is it clear? Shall we go to the next? Here system of classification. So this what we have discussed already, the same here. So system of classification means what are the systems they have followed to classify these organisms, that's all. Of course, we said the first one, it's a 3-domain system which is given by Carl Woese, we said. And here Carl Woese has classified the total organisms, the entire organism as 3, that is bacteria, archaea and eukarya. Is it clear? And the next method, it's one of the traditional method, 5-kingdom system. So here bacteria and archaea has put into as one group, that is Monera, and eukarya is classified as 4, that is Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia separately, right? So that is called 5-kingdom system. So in the 3-domain system, bacteria, archaea and eukarya, this bacteria and archaea put together as Monera here, and eukarya is separately classified as Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. Okay, and the next one, 6-kingdom system. This 6-kingdom system also given by the person Carl Woese in the same year 1977, and here he is classifying the organism as the same, right? So here also the Monera is again classified as 2, that is bacteria and archaea, and the rest is coming as it is, which means Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. Is it clear? So listen, again Monera he is classifying as 2, that is bacteria, archaea, and the rest is coming as it is, that is Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. Okay, and the next one, this 6-kingdom concept is revised by the person Cavalier-Smith in the year 1987. He has given 7-kingdom concept, right? Even we are following the 7-kingdom now also, 7-kingdom concept. So here what happened is, the bacteria has given us a name eubacteria, true bacteria, and archaea has given us a name as bacteria, archaeobacteria, right? And here he is classifying the Protista as 2. He is dividing the Protista into 2, that is, one is Protozoa and another one is Chromista. So protozoans means the protozoas that we know. Chromista in the sense it is a brown golden algae. Algae is coming under this kingdom, that is Chromista. So it consists of chlorophyll C and there is no starch is there, and it's a brown golden algae is coming under Chromista, kingdom Chromista, and the rest is coming as it is as fungi. Fungi will come under the fungi and plants will come under the plantae and animals will come under the animalia. Hope you understood this point. So listen, system of classification in the sense how they are classifying these organisms, right? So various method is followed. The first method they could say it is 3-domain system. 3-domain system, the entire organism is classified as 3 domains, that is bacteria, archaea and eukarya. Then later it is transferred as 5 kingdoms. So here 5 kingdoms in the sense bacteria and archaea put as Monera. Then eukarya is classified as 4 as Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia. Is it fine? Then again the same person Carl Woese classifying this 5 kingdom as 6 kingdom. So here what modification he has done? Monera again he is putting as 2, there as bacteria as well as archaea, and the rest coming as it is, like Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia. Then this 6th kingdom also revised by the next person Cavalier-Smith, and he is giving the 7th kingdom. Here he has followed the bacteria as termed as eubacteria, that's a true bacteria, archaea as archaeobacteria, and he is classifying the Protista into 2, that is Protozoa as well as Chromista. Chromista is a brown golden algae, right? And the rest is coming as it is, like fungi, plantae and animalia. Is it clear? That is system of classification. Is it fine? So the first topic we said is a 3-domain classification system, and the second topic we said regarding the 5 kingdom classification system, and the 6 kingdom classification system, and the finally 7 kingdom classification system. So let us see the persons who has revealed about this one. system of classification. The first 3-domain system is given by Carl Woese in the year 1977. And 5-kingdom system is one of the earliest method actually. It is given by Argesh Whittaker in the year 1969 itself. And the 6-kingdoms concept is given by the same person again, Carl Woese, in the year 1977. And finally it is revised by the person Cavalier Smith as 7-kingdom system in the year 1987. Is it clear? Shall we go to the next topic? Okay, fine. The next topic is actually taxonomic hierarchy, right? But here I have given as a title as individual identity. It is not your title, understand? So here I have to give one concept to you. If I say this one, you could understand this forthcoming topic very easily. That's what I have introduced this one here, right? Individual identity. Just to imagine, you are one of the person studying in Bethlahem Matric Higher Secondary School, right? Imagine you are getting one courier or one parcel, we can say, you are getting from London, right? You are getting from London. So will you get this parcel sharply at your hand? Sure, you will get. How will you get? Because the parcel or the courier consists of one proper address. Is it fine? One proper address will be there. So as per the address, the courier sharply will reach you. Understand? So for example, listen. You are in India, right? You are in India. One of the example I guess given as a last column, listen. You are in India. The courier is from London now. Okay. So listen. In this world, around 195 countries are there. Around 195 countries are there. You are in India. So first of all, the courier has to come from London to India. Then, and India consists of 28 states are there. Among these 28 states, you are in Tamil Nadu. So the courier has to come to the Tamil Nadu again, right? The Tamil Nadu consists of 32 districts. So among this, you are in the Kanyakumari district. So the courier has to come to the Kanyakumari district again. Then Kanyakumari district consists of maybe thousands of posts. Post will be there. Among this, Karungal is one of the posts. You are in Karungal, right? And then Karungal consists of maybe several schools will be there. But you are in Bethlehem school. Bethlehem school consists of so many divisions and the sections will be there, right? And your section is 11th C. And your name is, maybe one example we can say, your name is J. With the initial we have to say it is J Shahin, right? So if this address is given clearly, this parcel or courier sharply it will reach at your hand, right? This is this fact. Listen me. So if one identity, that's why I said this is personal or individual identity. Even one person in this world will be identified. The one person in this entire world will be identified with one proper address. Is it clear? The same, I said 8.7 millions of species we have identified yet. So, how could we identify one particular species among this 8.7 million? Have you got me? So, the person J. Sahin is in this world. So, we can identify him when giving one proper address, right? Meanwhile, the same 8.7 millions of species we have identified here, rest has to be identified, that is another matter. So 8.7 million species identified yet. So how could we identify one particular species in among this 8.7? We have to give one proper address or proper classification. That we can give one new term here as hierarchy. Have you got my point? So that is called taxonomic hierarchy. So we are giving one hierarchic order or level for one particular species. Then we can identify them easily. Understand? Okay. Now, like the same address we said now, we can give one scientific term for this hierarchy. Instead of just I am telling to you to make you to understand, right? So instead of this address, we can substitute the term here as hierarchy, right? So address consists of country, state, district, post, school, section, name. The same here, like to identify one particular species in this world, we have to give one hierarchic order. Understand how this hierarchic order will be there? Listen, the first, like country, the kingdom. The kingdom. So the kingdom, the next hierarchic order, like state, we can say phylum. The phylum consists of many classes. Class consists of order. Order consists of family. Family consists of genus. And genus consists of species. When you come to the species name, when we get the species name, we can exactly identify the particular species. So here the hierarchic order is coming like kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Here sub also will be added. For example, subkingdom will be there, subphylum will be there, subclass will be there, suborder will be there, subfamily will be there, and subspecies will be there. Is it fine? Okay. So like this, listen me, like this, we have given one hierarchic order for one person's Shaheen. Like this, shall we give one hierarchic order for one animal as per the scientific term? Shall we? Okay. Listen. Taxonomic hierarchy. Here we are going to give one hierarchic order for one animal that is called domestic cat. Domestic cat. Right? Shall we give an order? Listen. Okay. So listen here. As per the five kingdom concept, we are following the five kingdom concept now for this hierarchic order. As per the five kingdom concept, we have five kingdoms. Do you remember? So what are the five kingdoms? Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Right? So this is the five kingdoms. So under this, domestic cat comes under the kingdom Animalia. Right? And this kingdom Animalia consists of 10 phylums. This kingdom Animalia consists of 10 phylums. Have you got my point? Okay. So these 10 phylums are Protozoa, Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Chordata. Okay. Among this, domestic cat comes under the phylum Chordata. Is it clear? Okay. And then this Chordata consists of 5 classes. So what are the classes comes under this Chordata? Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, apes and mammals. Clear? So among this, domestic cat comes under the class mammals. Okay. Then these mammals consist of 2 orders. One order is Carnivora, another one order is Primata. Carnivora and Primata. So among this domestic cats comes under Carnivora. So Carnivora means we can say the dog, cat comes under this Carnivora type. And Primata means we can say monkey, ape, man comes under Primata, order Primata. Right? Okay. So now we can say domestic cat is coming under this order Carnivora. Right? So this Carnivora consists of again 2 families. So that is Felidae and Canidae. Felidae as well as Canidae. Among this, cat is coming under this family Felidae and dog comes under this family Canidae. Not only cat, we can say cat, tiger, lion, everything comes under the family Felidae. Here Canidae means we can say not only dog, jackal, fox, everything comes under the family Canidae. Right? And now the cat is coming under the family Felidae. Okay. And this family Felidae consists of 2 genus. That is Felis as well as Panthera. Felis as well as Panthera. Among these, cat is coming under the genus Felis, and the rest lion, tiger, leopard is coming under the genus Panthera. Right? Okay. Now the last one, Felis. So this Felis, genus Felis consists of 3 species. That is Domestica, Margarita and Silvestris. Domestica means domestic cat, Margarita means jungle cat, and Silvestris means wild cat. Now, shall we give the scientific name for this domestic cat? So the scientific name means, already we said, it includes the genus name as well as the species name. Genus name will be as the first name and the species name will be as the second name. So how could we name this domestic cat scientific name? Felis domestica. Felis domestica is a scientific name. Do you understand? So Felis domestica is one of the species. So if we go through this hierarchic order, we can understand Felis domestica. Is it clear? And now listen me. If we do this reversely, just we can say few or some species, for example, Domestica, Margarita, Silvestris. Few similar characterized species or few similar characterized animals comes under same genus. Understand me? Meanwhile, the same few several characterized genus will come under the same family, and few several similar characterized family will come under the same order, and similar characterized order will come under the same class, and similar characterized animals comes under the same phylum, and few similar characterized phylums may comes under this same kingdom. Understand? Like the country, many countries will be there. Among the country, many states will be there. Among the state, many districts will be there. Districts consist of few posts, posts consist of few schools, and the schools consist of several sections. Among this, one particular person will be there. Right? As I said, the same here. Similar characterized species will comes under the same genus, and similar characterized genus will comes under the same family. Similar characterized family will comes under the same order, and similar characterized order will come under the same class, and similar characterized class will comes under the same phylum, and similar characterized phylum will comes under the same kingdom. Do you understand? So that is known as it is taxonomic hierarchy. Right? So now we have given the scientific name for this domestic cat, and one of the example again it is given in our textbook is, of course, it is human beings. Shall we see? Systematics of human beings. So human beings are coming under this kingdom Animalia, right? Then because it is one of the animals, and the human beings are coming under this phylum Chordata. So why it is termed as Chordata? It is grouped under Chordata. So Chordata means the organisms those who has notochord or vertebral column or backbone is comes under the phylum Chordata. So those who has vertebral column, not only human being, whatever has vertebral column or backbone or notochord will comes under the phylum Chordata. So human beings also coming under the phylum Chordata. Is it clear? Okay. So as we said already, phylum Chordata consists of 5 classes, right? So one of the class Mammalia. Okay. So human beings coming under this class Mammalia. So why it is known as Mammalia? Because mammalians hair is covered with the skin is covered with this hair, and especially mammary glands are present. Mammary glands are present to produce the milk. It is a special character for mammals. So human beings are coming under this class Mammalia, right? And class Mammalia consists of 2 order, that is carnivora as well as primata, already we said. So human beings are coming under the order Primata. Why it is Primata? Means mammals with the forward looking eyes with the grasping fingers. So grasping fingers means the finger with the grip will be there. We can hold it. That is called grasping fingers, right? So human beings are coming under the order Primata, right? And order Primata consists of family Hominidae, right? Hominidae. So human beings are coming under the family Hominidae. Hominidae has a character, it is flat face and binocular vision. Flat face will be there, so that's why it is coming under the family. It's a character of this family Hominidae. So human beings are coming under the family Hominidae. Okay, then family Hominidae consists of the genus Homo. So Homo, in the sense, the character of this Homo is large brain with upright posture, straight posture will be there. Large brain with a straight posture. So human beings are coming under the genus Homo. It's the character of this genus Homo, right? And the last one is species. So species is sapiens. So sapiens, in the sense, the character of the sapiens means bipedal. Bipedal means two legs will be there for movement. That is called bipedal, and higher intelligence will be there. So that's why human beings species is sapiens. So human beings scientific name is Homo sapiens. So this is a systematics of human being. It's a hierarchical order is given for human beings. Understand? Okay. And among this, a species is one of the species. In the hierarchical order, species is taking this major role in the hierarchical order, because at the species level only we are going to give the classification, right? In the species, so what it means species, they said. So species means it's a group of organisms which do reproduction among themselves. It has a similar morphological features, and it do the reproduction among themselves, which means one species could not do the reproduction with another one species. That's why they said it is reproductively isolated from another one species. So group of organisms which do mating among themselves is called it is as one species. Okay, and this is producing the fertile offsprings. If the mating is going on within the species, of course it will produce this fertile offsprings, generations. In certain cases, the closely related species also will be crossed each other. The closely related species. So when the closely related species is crossed each other, it is producing the young one, but the young one will be as a sterile offsprings. It will be as sterile. It could not produce a young one again. That is called sterile. Right? So species is a group of organisms with the similar morphological features, and it is reproductively isolated from other species. Is it fine? And it is producing the fertile offsprings. In certain cases, one species is crossed with the closely related another one species, and it will produce this sterile offsprings. Alright. So now let us see the examples for sterile offsprings. Example, the first one is hinny. So this is produced by the crossing of male horse and female donkey. When male horse and female donkey is crossed, it is producing the young one, that is called hinny. Alright, and the next one, mule. When male donkey is crossed with the female horse, it is producing this sterile animal, it is called mule. Fine. And another one example, when male lion is crossed with the female tiger, it is producing this hybrid variety, I mean sterile, it is called liger. One example, male tiger is crossed with the female lion, and it is producing this variety called it is tigon. Is it fine? These are all the examples for sterile offsprings. Right? Next. In genus. So genus, as we said, few species will come under the same genus, right? But certain cases, for example, they said one genus may consist of only one species. One genus consists of one species. In such a type of this genus is called monotypic genus. For example, red panda, its scientific name is Ailurus fulgens. Ailurus is a species name, and Ailurus is a genus name, and fulgens is a species name. So only the fulgens species alone coming under the genus Ailurus. Is it clear? That's why it is known as monotypic genus. And the second one is polytypic genus. Example, cat, we can say there is three types of cat we said. Felis domestica, Felis margarita, Felis silvestris. Here genus is Felis, but it consists of three species, domestica, margarita, or silvestris. So that's why 3 species is there. That's why this is known as it is polytypic genus. So these are all the 2 mark or 3 mark questions and important question. Just remind it. Okay. Fine, you understood everything, and let me give few assignments. So dear students, and please note down this assignment and go through the book and try to cover up these portions. Fine. So listen. The assignments are: define extremophiles, types of extremophiles, differentiate probiotic and pathogenic bacteria, and differentiate prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and what is monotypic genus as well as what is polytypic genus, and how was sterile offspring produced, and explain 7 kingdom system. So these are all may comes under either 2 mark question or 3 mark questions, right? And one more 5 more question I could say, it is explain taxonomic hierarchy in detail. So very often I say these are all some highlighted questions, but the questions may come from any part. Line by line you are supposed to learn, but question may come from anywhere. But these are the few highlighted questions we can give to cover up for these days, right? So please don't waste your time, and please cover the portions. Surely it will help you very soon, right? So we can meet you in the next class. Thank you.